Hi class, I want to give you some video feedback for your revision coming up next week, and I want to make sure that you have everything you need. Jot this down, make bullet points, because you may be required to submit those. So as I go through, I'm going to go through as a first-time site visitor and looking at the usability, the layout, functionality, things like that. And it's great if you can watch everybody's. You'll learn a lot that way. All right, jumping right in. Daryl. First of all, sometimes students will open a template but forget or accidentally remove the most important thing. And so your navigation is going to be the most important thing. And so we need to have a header that has that. Even if it's a one page, we don't have them scroll to find out what information is on our site. Okay. I do like this logo. You might want a different font unless you're doing horror. So far, the examples don't look that way, but a little bit of space under the collection heading. Let's see. So each of these would be a strip, and it would have an anchor here. And that anchor will be linked to the title in the navigation. So when they click on a service title, it's going to go right here. This contact is going to be at the bottom. So that strip needs to be at the very end, and up here in your navigation, it's going to be at the end. And you want everything in the same order on your page as it is in your navigation. This site also needs a footer at the bottom, but it's got some great things working for it. Above all, the contrast, super easy to read, and nice image. Logo, I mentioned. The logo, it's good to put up in your header with your navigation and with the single term of what you do. If it's cinematography, then you're going to do that. And then this doesn't need to be here. I've seen this slogan in various forms many times, and so you don't really need that. You just need to tell them what you do and show examples. We don't need to say welcome. We just need to have a welcoming site that's usable. Okay. Things have changed since then. So let's take this image off, because it's cropping an important body part. The head there is super important. We also have to be careful about showing the names of products that we don't have rights to. Let's take this off. You're going to have it in your navigation. So in this image, you already have down here, so you don't need it up here. So let's see. This would be fine as your first strip at the top and your navigation. I know you're drawn to the visuals of this, but it's not always laying out correctly. Also, be sure to, like I said, in addition to your footer that's going to have the copyright date, year, you're going to include your social icons that you have down here, and you're going to link those up. This button needs to come out. It's not linking to something. And the mobile, you'll see it's really important we have navigation here. We don't ask them to scroll. Make sure you work on the layout here. And again, this goes to the bottom. This could go first with this, then that. Okay, all right. So just a few sweeping changes that are going to make a huge difference, all right? Can't wait to see it. Good luck. Okay, Danny, nice job. I can see your name, what you do, and simple background, nice photo, easy to read text. Gets a little busy back here. Your work is being overshadowed by this background image. Okay, this is definitely drawing my eye as opposed to your work here. It's competing. So you want a simpler background, maybe even just a gray would work. These are template, so I recommend, having a modeled background here like this gray. You can do it on a piece of canvas, a piece of paper, and then laying out your own equipment with natural lighting and taking a photo if this is the kind of thing you like, rather than this very familiar stock image. Okay, but you have things in the right order. This is hard to see. It's kind of fading away there. I had to look for it. Make sure you do have your year down here, and check that you still have a footer. It could be that this whole thing is your footer, in which case you really just need this down here. You could have your email with your in your footer, but the footer shouldn't be more than an inch, if that. Okay, and the footer will be on every page. So what you want to do is take your header and freeze it. What that will do is you will always have your navigation, no matter where you land. It's going to be right up here. Okay, if you freeze your header that has your navigation in it, which is going to be important. We always want access to the navigation. Okay. Make sure you double check the layout and that your name is up here in your mobile. Everything else is looking good. Again, that background, and these may be large files or broken for some reason. Double check that. May have to reload those on your mobile, but do remove that background image. It's definitely creating an issue. Make sure this is linked to your email, and that you have your social icons, at least to a LinkedIn. Okay, and you will need to have this on every strip, and it may automatically do that when you fix the desktop version. All right, but otherwise, nice, clean, good job. Your strips are looking good. It's just some details. All right. Okay, let's see, Jacob. Similar thing here. What we need is to have, let's see if this is going to load for us. It takes a while if we have large files, so you want to be mindful of that. All your video need to be yours, because otherwise you're just taking up space, and the refreshing of each page takes longer. So this video back here, that's a cloud, that background can come out, and it will make your site function much better. This needs to come out. I think you'll see that when you get to the mobile version. If it's your shot, reduce it greatly. If it's a template shot, it needs to go away. Make sure this is a free Google Voice number and not your personal number. Update the 2023 to 24. You can remove the word draft and just have your name. Let's see. This, again, we have our header is too deep. So I would remove this image, or reduce it greatly, crop it. What we need up here, if the name is Wild Mission, then it would be in your header, Jacob, yes, Wild Mission. But what is it? Videos, so it's Wild Mission Videos or something, to let people know. This, again, it's a slogan. It wouldn't go in your header. That would, this is just taking up too much space, and it's showing on every page when it's in the header. And the thing about that is we no longer have room for our content that is super important. So we want to land, closer to here rather than this every time. And so that's all I'm going to say about that, but that's what's important there. You want to bring all this up, bring your navigation up. Okay. and we're scrolling through all of that. Probably, you know, that's the thing, these images are big, taking up space, and you want to remove them. And they're requiring a lot of scrolling. What you can do also is just go into your pages and menu and connect, select add a page, select a simple basic contact page, and it will add another one here, but it will be its own page. And you can delete this one. And if it's connected to this strip, if you want, you can just, you know, paste this on the new page and take it out. Let's double see something here. Yeah, because this is your footer, and it's taking up too much of important real estate. Okay, double check your images that you upload, that the file names have titles. That's something that search engines will crawl when they are trying to rank you and people are searching for you. It will go through your images. So give them a good keyword. Yeah, so that's the main thing with this one, but you do have your navigation, and that's really important. Then hopefully you need to add navigation over here too. You could center Jacob Guess, and that would work, and this is fine. This is fine like this. It's just not working as a header, especially in your mobile. And so you can see now we don't have your navigation. So that's an issue. And this one I think is probably not needed. Okay, so I need navigation here. But great job with your titles and your asset guides and your spacing. Yours is just going to be a matter of going in, removing some images, and bringing your header up and removing the footer. Not the footer, but taking the content out of the footer that's making it so deep. And it's going to immediately be better. Do rename this image if you keep it. So, you know, it's you can name it Wild Mission if you want. Okay. All right. And definitely include your social media icons, at least to a LinkedIn, all right, or a YouTube, right? You do want it at the bottom somewhere, because you really don't want somebody immediately leaving your page, because once they get to YouTube, that content is curated especially for them, and we can't compete with that algorithm. We can't, they'll never come back to your site. All right. Okay. Erin, so the next couple of sites don't have a feedback link, so I can't really look at the mobile, unfortunately. Let's just start at the top. You do have your navigation. Great. We do want your name and what you do up here in your header. So this content that you have here, you're going to put up here. And it will be easier to read, you know, so I would just take that out. This can come out. I will share something with you. I don't usually tell students this because they will learn on their own, but we don't usually talk about ourselves as being creative, and here we have the word twice. We don't want to do that, because that's really for other people to determine. And it isn't a matter of saying people say I am, you know, you're probably very creative, but our website is there to show people, and we don't have to tell them. Okay, we want to tell them what you do, what your name is, and show them your work. You do want to remove that background image that's from the template. So to do that, you can select background, and then you can change it to a color and make that color white, and it will disappear. Okay, you'll key that out. A little issue here with the layout. So double check your sizes here and what you've got. We will need to have descriptions for each of your works to let us know exactly what your role was. Good job linking to Facebook. You can delete the X or add the X, and you do have that one linked, and your Instagram needs to either be removed or linked. This it looks like maybe it's tiled or something, or you've got it in 2 columns, but let's remove that, or at least be sure it's not in columns. Already won, I'm not sure what that is saying because we don't have a list of awards here. An FX, that means, you know, you have that equipment and you have this skill, but what you're going to do is, you know, under or with every image, you're going to include a very small description of what your role was, what the title of the image was, and if you want, I think it's a good idea to list the gear, the main gear that you use, the Sony FX6. And this works well. It doesn't need to have this, you know, we don't have to scroll that far. We can just go to the phone down to here. There is a one template for the contact that gives you a form that will also give you a list of a drop down of what they're interested in. That's just be aware of it. Nobody needs to have that. So this is really great, easy to read this. I recommend using this font again somewhere. This is taking me to an empty document. So let's delete that button and let's work on this image. It's possible that you were working at a reduced size instead of 100%. So go up here under your view and choose actual size. Okay. The other thing, I see that there is a video back there. Definitely take that out. It's slowing your site down. Okay, so you want to remove that for sure. Okay, so I'm going to look at 100% again, and we're like this. And yeah, and so yeah, I close this up and take out everything but the Deshawn. You could even take that out if you want and just put Deshawn up here. Director, cinematographer, sound. Okay. All right. So I don't have a mobile to look at, so make sure that you work on that. Take a look at the other videos in your group and make sure that you're checking that out. Okay, Michael, same thing. I didn't see, let me double check. I did not see a page for the, for the feedback link. Okay. Remove this that says Indeed. If you're going to use this, make sure this is, you want to make sure you're only using images you took. Spacing, watch that. Make sure this is a free Google Voice, and link up those social icons that you use, especially a YouTube or a LinkedIn. Okay, everything else is laid out beautifully. This is the perfect place to add a little description, but you have said that this is photography. Let's see, and here you have this, which is really great. You do want to put your little detail there, what your role was, but it's well laid out. You know, you've got equal spacing, nice, easy to read fonts. So yeah, as long as everything is your work there, fantastic. Let's take this out. It's going to cause a problem in the mobile. Okay. This probably could be a little smaller. It's creating a lot of scrolling there. But otherwise, good. Make this footer not quite so deep. And this is great. Make sure we're using consistent font styles that are easy to read. Like this is easy. You know, this is good. I mean, it's still good. But when in doubt, pick up one of your others. Okay. And then home. Okay. we're going to put photography, cinematography up here and remove it from here because it's competing. It's hard to read. Even though the contrast is good, it's just over photo and it makes it difficult and unnecessary. And so I want everybody to remember the main thing is you're going to have just your photos because that's what this portfolio is about, or you're, showcasing your work. So you want to make sure you're doing that. Other than that, duplicate your sites, make your revisions, and I look forward to seeing them next week. You're doing a fantastic job so far.